Hello. Sorry, I said I'm ready, and then I put a chip in my mouth.
The professionalism.
Hello, welcome back to D&D. Last week we started back up after a little bit of a hiatus. So we, you guys went from doing a PvP thing to you woke up. You went from there to Inksworth. You did a lot of stuff in Inksworth. You went to a magic shop, got a load of stuff identified, bought a couple of magic things yourselves. Gylndan got a nice fancy cloak. Doc had a shave and bought loads of things. Can't even remember all the stuff he got. Did some sending spells. Yeah, just a load of shopping, which I think is fair. Oramis had a mysterious man come up to him and basically say, "Oh yeah, give this to a guy in Hawksmoor. Do not open it." And it looks like a little jack in the box. And that was about it. After that, you headed along the road to you headed off towards Hawksmoor, where Gylndan had the vision. One of these orbs that was in the tower went towards Hawksmoor. Gylndan had a vision of Hawksmoor and then some cavernous space under the ground with an army of elves sort of traveling through it. So you think you've got to go someplace over there to Hawksmoor, and you were on your way to the Hawksmoor Mountains when you were stopped at a checkpoint, which is where you can see you're all now. A bunch of guys basically following, essentially like extremists of this sort of idealistic view that there is only two gods in the pantheon of Ambyr, Pelor and Frey, and all the other ones are sort of like deities. They're not really gods.
Very relevant. The resurgence of some extremists.
Yeah, I know, right?
A leak.
So
very current.
So some extremists, essentially some extremist clerics, attacked you along the road. You just destroyed them. Like I don't know what words to describe. Chikara's a beast, and you saved a very old dragonborn cleric, a cleric of Mars, as you were told by the sort of high priest here. We ended the session with him sort of greeting you. Oh, that was lucky you lads came along. Bloody hell. What would you like to do?
Sorry, before
can I make a petition?
Any further? I'm going to have to jump off at short notice at one point because Abby's parents are picking her up this evening. So I will have to jump off at short notice when they arrive to say goodbye and do that sort of thing.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
What time?
Cool.
Can I?
It's going to be about 9.
Oh, should we just take a break then? I think.
Yeah. Whenever you go, we'll just have a sort of
cool. Yeah, it's going to be between half
break.
9.
Cool.
Can I make a petition real quick that all future Dragonborn speak with the Welsh accent?
Is Oramis sending this out loud to someone?
It's just a thought.
God.
Dolus, please.
He's talking to Dolus. Yeah.
Well. Bear in mind, this is a red dragonborn with a red cloak on, scale armor.
In a green field?
And a red shield with a flail. He looked quite old. He was having his ass handed to him by all these dwarves. They were basically beating him behind this wagon.
I think I've seen that video online somewhere.
No, we can't derail it this quick.
Ben, your choice of wording was poor.
It was
very poor.
It was very, very poor. Anyway, what would you like to do? He's standing there. He doesn't have any spell slots left to heal himself, as he sort of proclaimed before. He is on 1 HP.
I will.
Get some healing, I think.
For the boy.
Oh.
That's something. +1 as well, so that's 15.
Oh. Thank you. Cleric of... That's the Apollo symbol I see. Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I haven't seen any of your kind in a very long time. Oh, Lord. Well, Always nice people, the clerics of Apollo. Thank you very, very much. What brings you all out here towards the mountains?
Hang on. We just watched you get the living shit kicked out of you. I think we'll ask the questions.
All right. If that's
first things first. Why is your accent so pitchy?
Why is
First things first, what's your
pitchy?
name, friend?
My name? Oh, my name is Marcool.
How do you spell that?
Marcwl. CWL.
Marco.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, no, sorry. Got it wrong. It's Marcuul. I wrote it wrong in here, and it's the first time I wrote it this week.
Did you mistake a W?
Yes, my writing is so scratchy, man. It's awful.
Marcool, eh?
Marcool, yes. I'm a dragonborn of Dusk Peak Mountain, the temple that lies atop. I'm a cleric of Mars, protector of that temple. It's one of the many I'm sure, dwarf, you're aware it's one of the many mountains in this fine region. Just unfortunately filled with.
I know all the mountains, Dusk Peak, and all of them.
Dusk Peak and others.
Are you trying to deceive him, or I mean, you can make a check. You can make a nature check.
I'm assuming that I would remember the names of the mountains around where I grew up.
I mean, you have stone cunning, but I mean, I guess it is technically stone. No. You probably would have heard of this mountain. Make me a history check. I'll say you know of the mountain, but there is a bit more.
Is this? Can I use my stone cunning for this?
I'm gonna say no, because stone cunning is generally in the craft of stone, not in stone, just like rocks.
That's a 7.
Yeah, so you're aware of Dust Peak Mountain. You know it's one of the taller mountains in the region. It can get pretty cold up there. It's near enough Hawksmoor, sort of overlooks Hawksmoor, but it is quite far away. It is quite the journey to get up and down, anyway. But you've never heard of any temple or anything that lies atop, or anything like that. You feel like there was something about it, but what? Sorry.
How did you come into this situation, Marcool?
Well, unfortunately, like I said, I'm a cleric of Temple of Dusk Peak Mountain, and we need supplies every now and again. Fortunately, it was my turn to go down and get them.
I've not heard of this temple of which you speak, but I've heard rumours of a fabled temple within the Hawksmoor Mountains. Could this be one and the same?
Fabled temple?
Yeah, containing an extensive library.
Oh no, my temple's barely 50 foot long, 50 foot wide. Things
aren't legendary and fabled just because they're grand.
That is very, very true. But I've spent my entire life at that temple, and I can tell you now, the only books up there are how to light a campfire and several games we play when we have the spare time. It is.
How long is it?
It's not very long. Let me tell you. And for a dragonborn who can breathe fire, it's pretty useless, isn't it? But there are.
Alright, Doc, you're barking up the wrong tree. This is not. Maybe it's a disguise. Maybe.
No,
we did have a lively, but we burn all the books for the fire.
I sneezed one day and it just all went up.
Oh well, that's the end of that quest. Thank you for coming.
Can we just appreciate Scarlet? It's sad by me watching D&D.
Oh.
Very cute. It's possibly because I have Chicken Kiev next to me, but I'm gonna ignore it.
Yeah, in all honesty, it didn't look like she was really watching.
No, more sleeping. Anyway.
Can Oramis flash the Ring of the Guardian at this Dragonborn?
Yes, the ring Oramis had made that means jack shit to anyone else.
Yeah, he just sort of looks at her. Oh, fine craftsmanship. Well, did you want to trade or?
Listen, Marcus. We
Mark Hoover.
We're called the Guardians, and we're kind of I don't know how you say in Dragonic. My friend here could maybe translate for you. We're hot shit.
I'm just gonna
shit.
Like sort of stage whisper. Massive in Draconic, massive ego. Just smile and nod along.
That's a good nod.
Let's just say we're a friend to your people.
Ah. Well,
unless you want a handshake, and then you're in serious trouble.
I feel like there's something there. I don't know. Whatever. A friend to the Dragonborn. Well, it's nice to see. It's nice to see any friend to the Dragonborn, and I like to think maybe I could be friend to all of you.
Where are you going, Markle? Can we help you get anywhere?
Well, I'm headed back to my temple.
Mm.
The road along there leads towards Hawksmoor. Maybe another day in that direction if you're heading the same way.
We'll walk with you for a bit.
Sure.
Oh, well, fantastic. Oh,
sorry, Markle. Let's just loot these bodies first before we.
Oh yes.
Yeah, on the subject of that,
you young adventurers are
coming from
you take a prisoner.
Orcs may have been fair game, but in more civilized parts, maybe we should go for the non-lethal option.
They were quite aggressive.
They were, yes, I agree, and I'm not gonna have a go at you for you defending yourself. But
as a protector of the Dragonborn, we cannot allow this to stand.
I agree with you, but leaving a trail of dead bodies is worse than leaving a trail of unconscious bodies.
Sorry, who said we'd leave a trail?
Unconscious bodies know who attacked them when they wake up.
We are going to hide the bodies.
As Mazzy begins to speak, you realise he's still in a tree on the other side of the road.
You can come down.
I think I'm going to climb down now. Actually, no, I've got my boots, haven't I? I'm going to jump down and then sort of 5 feet or 10 feet, I can't remember. Just sort of walk the rest.
It's 15 feet. And actually, on the subject
15
of
feet, that was it.
I'm giving it an extra use after consideration.
Yay! Thank you.
There you
so, Michael, are these all your supplies?
My supply? No. Unfortunately, I headed towards the nearest town and was laughed out the place. Yeah. Well, I haven't been down from that mountain in a good few months, and it's fair to say that people still don't like Dragonborn. So there we are. Nothing's changed in 500 years.
Okay.
How old are you?
I would like to have a dig through these supplies then, Mr. DM.
Mm-hmm. He says to you he's about 60.
Okay. So how do you know nothing's changed in 500 years then?
Because the war was 500 years ago, you protector of the Dragonborn. You should know this.
Yeah, I know that, but, things may have changed a little bit.
That's an unnatural 20 on an investigation check.
That is. Alright, so, upon these guys, what are you sleight of handing?
Any good stuff Doc finds.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So, Doc, looking through the bodies.
Sorry guys, there's nothing good here. I thought there was a load of good shit, but it all seems to have vanished. Aramis just like bedecked in jeweled clothes.
His coat just like puffing out with all this.
Aramis,
like,
let's go!
stuff in
Clank,
it.
clank, 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 clank.
But yeah, on these guys, you can find some decent stuff. So they all seem to have this symbol. The symbol having sort of half the symbol of Pelor and half the symbol of Frey. So Pelor being the sun, Frey being the moon, sort of half and half. They were called the followers of Twilight. And the symbols in themselves are quite finely crafted, but they do have that sort of almost like mass-produced thing to them. Like you could tell, they just sort of like a lot of this is just sort of a seal that was stamped down on some quite nice plating. Through all of them, you can find about 20 gold pieces and 20 silver pieces.
Party fund?
And other than an array of sort of javelins on some of these guys...
I was mainly sort of thinking about these chests that we saw earlier as well.
So like like I was saying, other than an array of stuff, there's nothing really interesting on the people. But then in the chests, there does seem to be quite a bit of gold. Add 150 gold to your inventory, as when you look in this chest, it seems like there is so this chest sort of has like two layers to it. Like you have the top bit of gold, and then you can sort of lift that bit up and off, or rather, there's a top bit of more of these sort of emblems, and like even smaller ones, like little pins and badges and stuff to show your appreciation and sort of your following. You can assume they might have given to you had you made a donation. But then below that is this sort of big sort of pile of 150 gold. In the other chest as well, you can see more of these emblems, as well as some smaller sort of random bits and bobs. A lot of it for sort of their own survival out here. A couple of bits of rations, so you can find about 3 rations if anyone's running low.
Can I put forward a suggestion that we give this money to a actually half decent charity?
Yeah, I will stick in the party fund for now, and we can dole it out.
With my sleight of hand check, can I just skim off like 20 gold?
Yeah. Doc, considering you're the one who sort of picked it up and put it in the party fund, make a perception check.
Oh!
Yeah, take off 20 gold from the party fund, Oramis add on 20 gold. As when sort of Doc is... So he's like, pulls out this sort of first bit of the gold and he's putting it in, and then he realizes, oh no, I'm going to need another small bag for this. And as he turns around to do that, you just quickly sort of, as you just pass, you just reach down, grab a sort of handful. There's about 20 gold in there. Just as you're
that's
you just sort of walk away.
A fat handful of gold, if you can picture that as
pounds. Stealing from us anymore, you're stealing from charity now.
I am a charity.
It's technically not charity money anymore because they're dead.
We're giving it to a charity.
Well, they weren't really a charity. They were more of just a bunch of pricks. They
were a non-profit organisation.
Yes. On that note, unless there's anything anyone else would like to do in and around this area.
Yeah, have these guys got any like religious texts or anything on them?
Religious what, sorry?
Like texts, books, anything like that?
Texts? Yeah, so on the High Priest, you can find a book of... Make me a religion check. So you're somewhat aware, like there is a sort of, obviously Pelor and Frey being the sort of the mother and father of the whole pantheon, you would be aware of a lot of their sort of beliefs, a lot of their tenets and traits and things like that, as well as their sort of big book, like almost their sort of Bible. and this one does seem to have some alteration. It is very... You can't quite remember exactly everything that was in the original. And you're aware that there is sort of some... This one definitely looks a little newer.
There was nothing in the original book about killing puppies with hammers. Why is this in here now?
Yeah, it's definitely... this version is definitely a little more egotistical about Pelor and Frey.
Okay. So I think
just a little.
The priest one was this guy, wasn't it? That I knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
Can I just get a quill out and just be like, Apollo forgives you for your sins, and then just tuck it back inside his jacket?
Yeah.
Just to wind
do that as
wind him up when he regains consciousness.
Yeah, as you
The
tuck back
only
into
one
his
we
jacket, he
didn't
just sort of
kill.
turns like,
No, we didn't kill two of them, actually.
Oh, we didn't kill two. Okay.
Doc was merciful.
Yeah, the two that sort of Doc had. Markul sort of picks up his stuff. He gets ready to go. He walks up to Chikara and he seems quite fascinated by Chikara. He's very sort of like, I've never seen one of these beasts before. Oh, what do you call this thing?
Chikara.
Chikara.
She's an elephant from the north.
So she's a Chikara and her name is Elephant.
She is an elephant and her name is Chikara.
I see.
She saved your ass, fool. Show some respect.
Oh, she did. A mighty beast she is. Oh. Enemies must tremble in their boots when they come against such a ferocious creature. At which point Chikara just sort of swings her trunk around and just starts nudging where that javelin hit Gylndan a few moments ago. Sort of pressing into his shoulder. It does kind of hurt Gylndan because obviously she's pushing on a wound that you have. But you can tell she does it in, trying to pat it better or trying to sort of rub it better kind of thing.
I know this is
very sort of
affectionate,
cutesy
Chikara,
way.
but it bloody hurts. So can you stop?
You sort of move your arms around and then she's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm ready. And Chikara's sort of looking around at everyone else to be like, are we done here? Are we good?
Can we
Looking around seeing if there's anything.
Still burning in front of us.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, this wall is on fire. You have to walk around it.
Gylndan, can you stop this in some way, or is this out of control now?
And the wall of fire stopped, but the wood's caught fire. That's not my problem.
Yeah. The wood is caught fire.
How do you rule that, Ben? Because it's magical fire. Would it all just go, or does it become normal fire as soon as it touches the wood and starts burning? If I just ceased it, does it all stop? And obviously the damage is still there.
I'd probably rule it so if you stop the wall of fire, the flames will stop, but the damage that the flames caused would still be there. However, you stopped the thing, but then the wood was in such bad shape anyways that it just collapsed on itself. This whole sort of thing just collapsed on itself and is now sort of smouldering and still sort of just in embers and dust, really.
Do we want to do any sort of clean up here? Because I think the problem with how we've done this is because we've not killed everyone. When they wake up, we're going to have some enemies, I think.
I can just finish them off if you like.
I don't know if that's the best course of action. In cold blood, maybe not the best course of action. But I don't know, maybe just we need something a bit threatening or something just to make sure they don't come after us. I mean, I think they will anyway, but I think we're dealing with a larger group than we realise.
Well, if there's I know this group aren't exactly obviously asking for money on the roads and using force. If there's any sort of law enforcement about, I'm sure you could tell them about this and they could come clean a lot of this up. I guess I
probably telling law
know
enforcement is we have to. How did they die? Oh, natural causes.
Well, I think they would understand when, as long as you mentioned that they were trying to kill you first. I guess
Self-defense, yes.
Purely self-defense.
Yeah, they definitely attacked first.
they made the first aggressive move. We just took it 0 to 100.
Well,
He
they were
threatened
trying to
Chikara.
kill me.
That's true as well. They were kicking the shit out of
That's
Markul.
true.
So.
Well, that's fair enough then.
Although, maybe don't say that to some of the people around here. They might turn sides, if you know what I mean. Although I know dwarves can be nice every now and again. Like this one. He walks over and just sort of pats Doc on the shoulder, like, good dwarf. Anyway, shall we get going?
Dragonborn are like with like the middle 6 feet, aren't they? Like 6'6". Yeah, so he's proper leaning down to
he's proper sort of like this guy. You can tell has had quite the life. He is definitely very old. You can tell he is sort of battle scarred and hardened. He does have sort of marks on his face where he has been in battle for many years. Just by looking at his armor, you can see sort of small glints and scrapes and stuff of blows that probably might have killed him in another life. And he does look somewhat old, as he's sort of a little hunched over. You can tell sort of war and stuff has taken a little bit of a toll on him. And he is decently old. Like I said, he's like 60 years old. It's pretty good for a Dragonborn. Still in fighting shape.
Definitely not, based on what we witnessed. Should we head off?
Yeah.
Yes.
Aye. Alright. Let's get going. And off you go, travelling along the roads and the sort of winding roads towards the mountains. I'll just stick you back on the main map. So it is.
Can I quiz him a little bit more about his temple and just be like, so how many of you followers of Mars are there at your temple?
Well,
it was your turn to.
There was back when I was a boy. There was 3 dozen strong, about 30 odd of us. Now, it is me and my 2 brothers. I don't know what happened in recent months. They've disappeared. Well, not really disappeared, I should say. Left of their own volition. They would never tell any of us where they were going. They just said that they were going off someplace beautiful. I didn't trust them. So,
Sounds
as far
sketchy.
as I say, I made an oath to stay on this mountain, and I will do till my dying breath. But they seemed adamant that they were going to some special place for Dragonborn or what have you. I didn't believe a word of it. I mean, could you? A place for Dragonborn somewhere out there.
Oh,
Like another world.
Markle.
as it happens.
Well, as it happens.
Wait, what?
Well, I said that we're like kind of.
I happen to know
Big shit.
of a place.
You... What? What? A place, like... Do you mean like a prison? Is that what you're referring to here? Like...
No.
What's...
A sanctuary of sorts.
Oh, that's
It's
patronising.
A
Safe haven.
a safe haven for Dragonborn.
Yes.
I thought I could smell black spice on you earlier. Bloody hell. I don't. Well, if that is where they've gone to, good on them. But, I'm fine atop my mountain personally.
It's far from us to say to run your life for you, Markle, but I feel perhaps things are still rather tough for your kind. So maybe I would reconsider somewhere like that for the time being.
Things are tough for my kind, yes, and we've gone through many trials and tribulations over the past many years of struggle we have had. However, when I was a young lad, me and my tribe and my clan were moved upon that mountain because we were looked down upon by all the dwarves and they didn't want to look at us anymore. They stuck us to guard that temple up there, an old decrepit place. And now I see it as a place of life, a place where we Dragonborn can go and pray to Mars and do what we can. It is a place where I have taught many Dragonborn to defend themselves as well as helped many Dragonborn with whatever they need. In my eyes, it's its own little sanctuary up there. It is my home, and I appreciate what you're saying, obviously, but no,
Mark, I think home is where the people
The
are.
heart is.
It's not a place. Yeah, so I think
I think it's admirable that he's.
it is admirable, but
to stick to it.
home is it's the people that make the home rather than a place. I think.
You have a good point. It hasn't. Ever since many of my brothers and sisters have left it, yes, it has felt very different, and I will admit I have thought about going after them, but maybe in another life.
I mean, think of this. You have been treated incredibly harshly today. You will continue to have to make supply runs and various things. What if it was someone else, someone you knew, and who was in your position instead, and there was no one like us around to help, and they came off even worse? Just something to to think over. If you change your mind, then we have information we can share with you that will help you find a better place. Makes it sound like I'm going to kill you, which really not the intention.
I will admit there, I did think you were talking about heaven. I was very confused.
Have you heard the great word of Apollo?
Well,
He's a
Celestia,
swell
really.
guy.
It's not. Yes, well, I will dwell on this a lot over the coming days. And I will speak to my brothers about it when I return home. Thank you for your concern. And with that, you continue the walk, and he now seems very much in contemplation for the rest of the walk. He is, before he was this jolly old cleric, sort of walking around, returning home, and now he's sort of seems very, very serious. He's in his own head a lot. You can often sort of hear him muttering stuff to himself every now and again as you travel. It's not an hour or so after you've left the ruins of the camp. You're dusting yourself off. I can say you will have taken a short rest or whatever. You can expend hit dice if you were hurt or whatever. And you begin to notice some small drops of rain falling from above. Like I said before, the clouds. Don't know if you remember last week. It wasn't the best weather around here, around these parts as you were traveling, and there were some dark clouds ahead. And now the weather is definitely turning, and unfortunately, it is also turning just as it is beginning to get dark. You just about reach the mountains. So as you are traveling sort of down, you come into this, come sort of past this quite narrow valley, and going through it is when the rain starts sort of thundering, pouring quite a bit now. It sort of almost like someone's flicked an on switch. It's very, very much, it starts off a couple of drips, and then all of a sudden the heavens open, and it is somewhat of a light storm. And unfortunately, you don't have a tent.
How high is Shikara's head, like Shikara's chin, off the ground?
Maybe like 4-5 feet, maybe.
Not quite high enough for me to comfortably walk up in the shelter.
Not quite. No. You will have to find somewhere to rest for the night. What's your plan? Obviously, you can't sleep out in the rain. You know that will make sleeping very uncomfortable, and in D&D terms, you might not get the benefits of the long rest. Obviously, just
look for a little cave or a little alcove, and is it all flat grassy land? I picture it sort of mountainous area. Aren't we?
Yeah, you are now in a very mountainous area, but there are sort of stretches of greenery around you. You can sort of tread off the path a little bit to try and get to some of this. greenery and some small sort of cliff sides where you might be able to find some stuff.
Mazzy, what do you reckon? Do you reckon we've got a good chance of finding some shelter, or do we need to try?
I feel there's a chance we can find like a cave or something like that. I reckon there's a high chance of that.
Yeah,
we are going through mountains after all.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a skill challenge, something I saw on Reddit and thought would be kind of fun to test. So basically, there is no DC for this, but essentially, you can use whatever skill you think is necessary. So whether that be survival, perception, investigation, nature, whatever you want to use for finding a cave. Mazzy, you roll with advantage because this is your home turf. And instead of a DC set for every roll, all of your rolls need to add up to a certain number. So, for example, I could say it is DC 40. And Sam, you could roll a 10. Oramis could roll a 5. Mazzy could roll a 15. You've made it. You've done it. Because that is... Actually, no, then Doc would need to roll a 10. And then you've done it. You've made it. So, the DC... Do we have to justify how we're using our skill? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, if I say now, okay, so the DC for... Obviously, you're in a mountainous area. It's not overly difficult. And this is the first time we're trying this. How do you plan on using persuasion to find a cave?
I'm going to persuade the mountains to open up a cave for us.
Oramis, have you been in my black spice?
Okay. So imagine you turn around to ask him that, JJ, and he's got like a pipe in his hand, and his eyes are really open and red, and he just goes, "No, no, I haven't."
No, I haven't. And Oramis is just sort of walking along, like gently resting his head against a boulder. You know where a cave is, don't you, Mr. Boulder? Yes, I do. You'll tell Oramis, won't you? It's over there.
It's a very good persuasion roll.
It is a very, very good persuasion roll. Unfortunately, it does nothing for your situation. I'll let you roll that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with. I mean, who wants to go first? Some ideas.
I've got one ready.
Okay.
I'll just use investigation. Just have a good old route around.
Makes sense. Don't really have to explain that.
Skill of someone else, or did they have to?
No, I'll say you can use the same skill as someone else. Thereby helping them with it.
What's our target then?
The target is 55. So that's a
we're almost halfway there.
That is a very good. That is a very, very good start.
Halfway there.
So who wants to go next?
I will go next. I'm going to use my athletic ability to, if we're in trees, climb a tree, or if we're sort of in the Rocky Mountains, go a little bit of sort of rock climbing to get to a high vantage point to try and have a look around.
Okay, I like that. All right, yeah. You roll with advantage.
Oh, fuck's sake!
You roll with advantage because you're in. Because you're in the forests.
That was ridiculous.
But Matt,
12.
Look, if our target's 55,
37.
You rolling a 9 on a 1 is still pretty darn good.
How does this work as well? Do we all get one attempt at this, or is it like basically like any skill we think we can use, and we just keep going for as long as we can think of reasons to use the skills?
No, so you'll get like one attempt at a skill. So you'll say, okay, I'm using nature. You would roll, and that would be your attempt for the evening at trying to find a thing. I will roll for Markul as well.
Okay, he gets. Okay, cool.
He does get a roll. He's going to go for a basic investigation check, much like Gylndan. He's just going to have a look around. He rolled a 5, but investigation is intelligence. Oh, he rolled a 4. In that case, then.
Yeah, join the club.
38.
So 38.
So we need
Doc, do you want to go, or should I?
Can I use animal handling to try and like? Would it be animal handling or survival to just try and like see if I can notice any like game trails or tracks or anything like that might indicate places animals would seek shelter?
Tracks generally are survival, but trying to find a place that you think an animal might trying to find a place that you think an animal might go to or hide or sleep in for the night or whatever. Would say could come under animal handling, knowledge of animals.
They're both the same modifier of destruct actually, so it doesn't really matter. I'll roll survival.
Well, that does it.
Yeah, that does it.
So
you are
between us, we managed to get there while Oramis is talking to a rock.
Yes. Indeed. Oramis, would you like to help out at all?
Ben, can I suggest upping this DC?
It was the first time we were doing it, so I wanted to sort of see how it worked. But yeah,
I mean,
my original idea was 55. It's like 12 or something.
Between 4
5 of us.
Between 5 of us is only 11 each, so it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's
not bad.
It's not too difficult when you.
Aramis got 55 on his own.
Is that the persuasion check on the DM? Aramis got 55.
Just over 10 each. When Matt's lowest roll possible is a 9, is actually.
This is insane.
But let's be real. I mean, my lowest roll possible was a 9. Luke's is an 11.
It looks like it's 12.
Yeah, so it's like even if we got one on everything, we got like 50 at least.
I will, because crit fails are generally only for combat and when I think it's funny.
Okay.
So I joke. Generally, critical fails are only for combat.
Sir, it appears you've gone mad with power.
No. So yes, you are able to, with sort of Mazzy managing to climb a tree. He manages to eye a quite
high because Oramis is like, that's a great idea, and scrambles up faster than him. And it's that thing where Mazzy's like climbing and Oramis puts a boot in his face.
And the boat
I'll take that with my nat 1.
Yeah, and as this boot sort of goes in his face is pushed over to the right. It's like, oh, that place looks quite nice. And then Oramis is like, oh yeah, it does. Boot still now, like both feet are just on Mazzy's face as his sort of footrest. Gylndan manages to go over to the area along with Markul, and Markul is clearly sort of still thinking from his wounds. He's a red dragonborn who breathes fire. He's not very happy about the rain. He's mainly just sort of holding his shield above his head, trying to keep himself out of the rain. Whereas Gylndan, you're a bit more perceptive, and you're able to sort of find a couple of bits that might indicate someplace nearby, a quite sizable cave nearby. There are tracks of some larger beasts moving through the area, beasts which probably could use something of the sort. And Doc, you're able to sort of take these and go, oh, okay, yes, over there, that is where we'll go. You find it, and to all of your delight, it is quite a nice little cave you can set up in for the night.
Oh no, you've got a picture of it. Something's going to happen.
No, he might have just thought this is a quaint thing to do. Oh, is it
is.
big enough to fit Chigara in?
It is. This is. You rolled pretty high, so I went with the big cave. So you have quite a nice, quite spacious cave. There was evidence that something maybe was here a little while ago. Bones of some sort, meat still left on some of the thing, but there's not evidence, as far as you can tell, with Gylndan's investigation and Doc's survival, that there is anything still there or has been there for a couple of days. You think, at least.
Okay.
You can all settle down for the night. The rain and now thunder sort of cracks outside. It's quite a peaceful moment, considering the past couple of weeks. You're able to sit down in the dry and take a rest. Will you be doing watches, or are you merely just going to sleep?
I feel like we should have a watch just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not sold, but nothing is going to want to. Nothing else is going to want to use this cave as shelter.
Okay. So whoever's doing first watch, we'll go back to the good old-fashioned roll a d12 and a perception check.
Okay.
Whoever would like to go first.
I will go first.
Alright, go on, Matt. Sorry, I was speaking, but I was muted.
10 and a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your
And 10.
watch goes on. You're not being overly perceptive. You're mainly sort of trying to wring out some of your boots and stuff like that. They got quite wet, tending to the fire, which is being quite temperamental in the gale that's blowing through the cave. Everyone else is sound asleep, and you are briefly distracted by Chikara, like using her trunk to keep pulling Gylndan closer in every now and again, and then Gylndan in his sleep sort of rolling out, and then Chikara pulling him back in, and Gylndan rolling out. Like a old couple, which is very cute. But nothing seems to happen along your first watch. The night sets in, the rain continues, and we can move on to someone else's watch. Whoever's next, roll a d12 and a perception check.
Are you okay?
What
Sorry.
are...
Lisa showed me a video. Is there any way you can send it to him?
Send it on the New Year's chat.
You can send it in Facebook chat. Send it in the New Year's chat. Sorry, it's very funny. I'm getting very distracted. So 5 with a perception.
Yep, roll perception.
Oh,
dear.
Fuck. We're gone. We're dead.
I'm gonna, because it's the end of the day, I'm gonna use my 16%. Oh, actually, no, I should have declared before. Never mind. Go for it.
Nothing seems to happen on your watch. It is quite nice. You're sort of chilling out again, sort of wringing out some clothes and things like that. Nothing seems to be going on. Again, these are random, so I picked. It's not necessarily how low you get on a d12. It's I picked 2 numbers on a d12. You have that much chance of having a random encounter. So yeah, your watch goes on quite nicely. The rain does seem to calm down a little bit now, and now it's only a bit of light drizzle. That's about it. Who is next?
Sure. Unless Judge has already rolled.
I might have a stone with like a set Death Star. But can you chuck sparkling water and not burn?
I'm now intrigued by this video.
I don't know what shit at the moment.
What do I do?
It's just that it's the head hit at the end. It's so loud.
Oh my god. Alright, well that was fantastic.
Sorry.
Needed that.
I keep saying it.
A 7 and roll a perception check.
Yes, I'm rolling the perceptions. Gosh.
25. Again, your shift seems to go quite smoothly. Nothing appears through the, nothing seems to sort of set you by. You're very, very cautious of, something being around after some of the guys have said that, there was something maybe patrolling this area, something has been here a few days ago. So you're thinking maybe in the storm they might want to come back. So you're spending quite a lot of time sort of at the edge of the sort of cave looking out. And there is a point where you do begin to hear something moving. With a 25 perception, you definitely hear some sort of footsteps in the distance. I'll say you do have time to have an action or do whatever you would like before they get any closer. Actually, with a 25, I'll say you can hear multiple sets of footsteps.
Oh,
terrific. Do I wake people? Do I fire an Eldritch Blast? I tell you what, actually, I'm just going to fire off a pistol shot into the darkness as like a warning. I won't fire it. I'll fire it up a bit, just kind of trying to be threatening, put people off, and also wake up everyone with the sound of the explosion.
Okay.
Do you have a pistol? Is this from?
Yeah,
He does have a pistol.
This is from way before I became a warlock multiclass. So
Yeah.
it just never got used. It's not
Yeah,
been used.
it is. It has not been. I believe this is the first time you fired off this pistol.
It is. Yeah.
It's like
I'm not sure it's the
four in
best.
It's
Actually,
like 4 in the morning in a cave, and there's some stuff outside, and it's raining, and you think now's a good time to whip out a pistol you haven't used before. I mean, you can't get more Oramis, can you?
or I could just, I could use Thunderwave, if you like, just out the.
I know in the cave that'd be so loud.
That would be excruciatingly loud. Can you imagine that?
Actually, no. I'm gonna go back on that. No, I'm not. I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay, you stick with it. You fire off this cacophonous blast into the into nothing.
Ooh.
And suddenly,
Advantage, hand shot first, or is that just an addition to?
I think that's only with the hand crossbow, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's against ranged people actually as well, isn't it?
No, I'd say that's with a pistol as well.
Sick.
I'll give that to the pistol as well. It makes sense.
But it's only against a target that's got range capabilities, isn't it?
Well, no, hand shot first was his. No, you're thinking of Mazzy's thing. His
bow dominance.
Bow dominance, yeah.
Sorry.
No, so you just sort of fire out into the wilderness. Hit on your first turn with a hand crossbow. Have not yet had a turn. Take critical damage. Roll damage dice twice. Yeah. Well, you don't hit anything. Were you trying to aim for what you heard, or are you just firing out?
Yeah, I was firing in the direction, but not necessarily trying to actually hit anyone as such, but hoping maybe it would go close to them and they'd kind of.
Okay. Well, let's say you moved up a little bit to here, and then fired off this blast into the darkness, and then you do. Actually, make me another perception check.
I would love to
try and hear what happens afterwards.
Okay, 1 second. Just get my character sheet back up. Perception.
Noise.
Oh.
The noises have stopped as far as
I
you're
think
aware.
Someone just fired a gunshot.
But yeah, everyone else has suddenly just woken up to this loud bang. Chikara makes proper up. She is stomping and stamping around the cave now, absolutely terrified of this huge bang. Everyone is up and on their feet. Chikara is going absolutely insane, being very, very loud.
I can't try and calm Chikara down, please.
Yeah, roll an animal handling check. But add your
Okay.
proficiency modifier.
4.
Yes.
That's good, because I have only +1. 10!
Despite your efforts, Chikara is petrified of what's going on. She's just stomping around, stampeding about the place. Does not like being in this cave anymore.
That's fair. I'm not sure I'm too keen on it myself.
And is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, I have to move around. Mark also. 5, 30, 35, 40. And we'll start sort of stampeding out of the cave.
Are you telling me an elephant has actually gone round someone?
Yes, I am telling you.
You don't think Markle would just get out of the way?
I mean, yeah, he'd probably get out of the way, but not because we're not necessarily in initiative. She's, Chikara has just gone sort of apeshit, and Chikara is now just being like, "Oh, trying not to hit anyone, but also just trying to get out of here. What would you like to do?
Oramis, what are you doing?
I heard footsteps outside. Several of them.
I cast silence on the entrance to the cave.
Okay. You cast silence on the entrance to the cave. As silence sort of rings out, Jakara looks very, very scared. Roll me... If my thing could be less shitty. Roll me a wisdom check. Or a wisdom save. Doesn't matter either or, she's got 0 to both. For Jakara. 18. I'd say this. Yeah, I'd say she's calmed somewhat by this. This does definitely help. As the silence sort of echoes, silence doesn't do anything. She sort of steps into it, and it's sort of gone. And she takes this moment to sort of breathe, look out. A sort of cool breeze blows towards her, and she is, for a moment, sort of much calmer. She doesn't seem like she wants to leave now. And at that point, she just sort of turns around and sort of locks eyes with Gylndan, like
Gylndan gets Jakara. Imagine, douse the fire. Oramis, what the fuck is going on?
As I said, I heard voices outside.
Voices or footsteps?
Footsteps outside. Sorry.
Like an animal's footsteps or human footsteps?
I just heard several footsteps together. I don't know if it's human or animal. So I sent off a warning shot and was trying to wake you up at the same time.
Well, consider us woken up.
What sort of time has it been?
Right now, it's probably about 3 in the morning.
Okay, so we got plenty of
About
darkness.
3 or 4 in the morning.
Don't think it's worth. It'd be risky making a run for it. I don't know if we just sit tight.
With my dark vision, can I see anything now that some more time has passed?
Yeah, your dark vision extends to about 60 feet. Make me a...
break, 'cause I gotta run.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
Well, yeah, just do that, and I'll just head off.
Yeah, make a quick perception check, and we'll head on break on a bit of a cliffhanger. Ooh,
Is it a gnat? Oh, it is a gnat.
It's an up.
it is a gnat, and something does indeed appear in the darkness.
Oh,
And we'll be back. And we'll be back after the break.
You're mute, Matt.
I'm
Yeah,
muted.
you're
Yeah, I just said that. I was saying back to the point about leaving the cave. It's better to stay here because we know that everyone's going to be coming through a tiny little area.
But it depends what they've got. If they've got anything that can flush us out, we're in a lot of trouble then. But
Yeah, I suppose.
it goes both ways. If we made a run for it in the dark, that'd be difficult. But
Fair enough.
we'll see.
We'll
I
see.
mean, I think he's seen something, so
We will see.
Seeing is believing.
yes.
Exactly.
All right. See you in a bit.
See you in a sec.
I'm going to put my charger in.
Uh-oh.
So we are back, and with it, Oramis, you once again look out into the darkness with your dark vision, and you are able to see something moving closer. The thing of which I will reveal right now. It is a horrifying figure that walks on two legs. You almost mistake it for a hound until you realise its humongous form. It is about as tall as you, its head in line with yours. You notice that its body it almost looks like it's made of like stone, or no, that's definitely not stone. As you see it in the dark, it glows with this strange red between the cracks, and you realise it's pure magma. And lava and rock. As it walks, little sort of drips of it to drip onto the ground, singeing the grass beneath. And as it walks, you can just sort of see it prowling, trying. It still thinks it's stealthed. It still thinks it's being stealthy. It isn't aware that you've seen it yet.
I'd call it stupid if it wasn't so bloody terrifying.
And it's about 30 feet away.
How many of us have seen this? Just Oramis?
Just Oramis at the minute.
Okay.
Hunking hell, guys.
What?
There is a fucking giant lava wolf thing out the front there.
Giant lava wolf. Do we stay in the cave or do we get out quick?
Do you think this
I don't
giant
think
lava
we can
wolf
get
is
past
actually coming
it.
towards us, or is it actually walking by?
It's now at 25 feet.
It's coming towards us. We can't get out. Can I, as a reaction, cast Hex on it?
I mean, it would be your action, but I guess if you know,
as an action outside of initiative, can I cast?
Yeah, I guess you're the one that's seen it, and you're right in front of the cave. I'll say, yeah, you can cast Hex, and we'll roll into a bit of initiative. As I'm assuming you've said all of that openly to the guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So now I think by now it knows that you've seen it. It's seen you. You can cast Hex. What ability are you hexing?
Ability checks. Oh, I don't know. What would be the best ability to maybe? What kind of spells do we have? Thinking out loud. If people want to help me, I'm going to
try and hold
checks.
it. I'm going to try and hold
so
it.
is that strength?
Well, I don't know if this is metagaming a bit. I think.
Yeah, it does.
If I say
Yeah. This is a surprise round, so I guess it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You just think.
I will.
I'm going to use my 16 for this. Initiative again. I should have called it before. Never mind.
No.
Just.
No, sorry, but I got to call it before. I can't see the roll and then decide it's bad.
Oh, right, okay.
I've got to say I'm going to use it.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! I didn't realize people were rolling initiative. I was still staring at the screen. All right.
Oh, so, in that case, can I roll initiative again?
Unfortunately, not, my friend.
I want to say on strength, but I did kind of have a bit of a conversation. So if you want to veto that,
no. I'll allow you to do strength. That's fine.
It's not actually what I need, Luke. So you haven't really
that's
game
fine. Oh, it's a bonus action to cast Hex. That's interesting. I need to remember that.
Then we got.
Yeah, you definitely don't use that enough for a bonus action.
I don't. I kind of think I always think of it as an action, so I'm like, I don't know if that's the most useful.
All right, so we'll drop into the initiative order. So, Doc, you're up first. You've seen Oramis sort of cast some ungodly curse upon this creature, and you know there's something out there. You have dark vision, so you'd probably be able to see it from where it is.
Okay.
So you can definitely see this strange. One could say some hellish hound.
Is that a joke?
No, that's me totally not telling you exactly what it is.
Can I cast prestidigitation on the cave entrance, just to make it smell really bad in here. It's just like on the cave entrance, like the patch around the cave entrance, just absolutely like reeks of like rotting meat or something.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
I'm sure a hellhound wouldn't like the smell of rotting meat.
Yeah.
You cast that, and you can hear the hellhound sort of sniffer, and then in some weird form, you can hear it speak in this strange dialect. None of you quite understand, but Mazzy, just sort of on the prick of your ear, you can hear some beast speaking in Infernal, the language of demons and devils alike. And you can just sort of hear her going, "Ugh, I want the big eats. Big eats look tasty."
Blessing, hungry lads.
How can you be so chill about that?
Is that your whole turn, Doc?
Yes. Here it is. No, I'm gonna get up a little bit closer and just sort of like crouch down in the shadows as best I can. But yeah, just being ready in case this thing comes in.
Okay.
Also,
It's done.
technically, if silence is still up on the entrance, we wouldn't be able to hear anything.
That is actually a very, very good point. So, Mazzy, you can't hear shit.
I do not know that the big beastie is hungry.
Its turn. So it moves 30 feet to where it is now. 35, 40, 45, and sort of looks at him. And from its mouth is just this burst of ash, lava, sparks of fire, and just all sorts of stuff. And can I ask Oramis, Chikara, Doc, and Markul to make dexterity saving throws, please?
These are not my specialty.
No, they're not.
No, they're indeed not.
Sorry, I'm just setting up my character sheet so it's permanently open.
Oh, let's go, Chikara.
Let's go, Chikara. Not bad.
It's nothing.
Nice, Oramis. And I'll roll for Markul in a second. I just need to get this thing.
Doc, when we're in a more humorous environment, slightly less pressured situation, I'm going to make fun of you for not being as dexterous as a giant elephant.
Hey,
Markul
I am
fails
more dexterous
as well.
than a giant elephant. It's just
Not on this occasion, my friend.
in this occasion, she has dodged better than I have.
I will say as well, throughout the day, Markul has used up all of his hit dice to get back to a decent thing. So he's now at full health.
Oh, that's
So time to roll some
on
damage.
scale of
So
Doc to Gylndan, where does he sit in the health pool?
about Doc.
Oh,
He's a
nice.
cleric, so he shares your hit dice, obviously. So he's
Surely he's fairly
of a similar.
chunky as a dragonborn as well.
He is, yeah. So 6, 7, 9. Oh my god. 10. 11. Okay, so from 7d6, Doc, can you take 15 damage? Which is insanely good for 7d6. Everyone else takes 7 damage.
Okay.
Because, oh my fucking god, it rolled 4 1s on 7d6.
Thank the Lord.
No word of a fucking lie.
Well, also silence is gone, but I mean I was probably going to drop that anyway.
Was 7, did you say, Ben?
Yeah, 7 damage.
Oh, I didn't roll for Chikara. Sorry, let me just roll real quick.
Oh yeah, roll initiative for Chikara.
She's lost. It's cool.
She's lost.
I will ask on my turn.
Yes,
It's your turn, isn't it?
Doc goes first now.
I went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's my turn.
It is.
I'm assuming.
But quickly before, as this thing bursts out and silence ends, you can just hear it cursing out at the other, at its betas, its sort of pack for running away from a loud noise.
Oh,
So it
at
does
least
seem-
that
it does-
did something.
It does seem that your loud noise did do something. It did seem to, or at least as Mazzy will tell you, as he's the only one that can understand this creature.
They hunt in packs.
It did seem to scare off some of them.
Okay.
Mazzy, if you're going to just sit at the back and throw out facts, do you want to throw out some useful ones, like how many are in a pack or something like that?
Oh, actually, that's a very good point. Mazzy, make me an intelligence check quick. As I said, as a reaction of seeing a
Giggity.
thing,
Goo.
you can make a check to see if you know anything about it,
Where is it?
just to make favoured enemies slightly more useful. You got shit.
With advantage.
Oh yes, it is with advantage because of favoured
That
enemies.
is
So,
like-
yeah,
oh,
you're,
Matt didn't know that. That was a speculative ask.
you it was a very speculative ask. Yeah, you're able to look at this thing and you can definitely tell it is obviously a demon or devil or some sort. It is, as you can see, it seems to have a strange thing that many demons have, where it will eat absolutely anything to fuel the fire in its stomach, which it then to then singe and burn enemies with its sort of lava-ish breath. It definitely would live on one of the hotter planes of hell, anyway. And it does very much look like a large hound you would expect. Look like it is built as well for chasing down prey, and so is probably quite fast. And with that, Oramis is go.
Hexblade's Curse.
Hexblade's Curse.
Can I use that on my Shadowblade? Not my Shadowblade, sorry, my Conceal Blade.
It is.
I'll put the description in the chat. Sorry, Hexblade's Warrior, not Hexblade's Curse.
Hexblade Warrior. First of all, you require the training necessary to arm yourself for battle proficiently. Influence your patron also allows you to. What? What the fuck?
Oh,
Your patron also allows you to mystically channel your will through a particular weapon whenever you finish. No, that weapon is your
Shadowblade,
sword.
yeah.
That is your Shadowblade, yeah.
Okay, cool, that's fine then. Just so I know. Awesome. Can I step back from the boy?
That is an attack of opportunity from it.
That is fine.
Alrighty. That is a 16.
Mm-hmm.
Does that hit? I think that does hit.
That does hit, yes.
What was his things? I have these on 2 separate bits of paper, so that's 1, 2 plus. Okay, so that's 1d8 plus 3. That's 11 piercing damage. As very luckily it rolled that, and then that is 10 fire damage on top.
How much? Sorry, 10 plus.
10. So 11 plus 10.
Okay.
Oh, we need to deal with this thing.
Can I uncanny dodge that?
You can uncanny dodge that, yeah, so that ends up being 10 damage.
Right, can I, as a bonus action, cast Hexblade's Curse on the boy? And
Yeah. Yeah, you actually can do that, yeah. As a bonus action, choose one creature. Target is cursed. The cursed ends early. You can bonus the damage rolls against the cursed target. Bonus equals your proficiency bonus, so +4 to any damage you do. Any attack you make against the cursed target is a critical hit on 19 or 20. Cursed target dies, you regain hit points. Cool. Yep.
okay, so it's hexed and it's also cursed. Can I then fire my Eldritch Blasts at it?
Yes. Oh, actually, wait. You cast Hex on its strength, right?
Yeah.
It needs to roll that attack against you again because it has disadvantage on that
is
attack.
that, does that count for attack rolls, or is that just ability checks?
I think it's.
Look up hex.
'Cause I think it's
You might be right.
put-
It might just be for.
I've put the thing in the chat, and it says.
ability
Insert.
checks.
Yeah.
Ability checks. Never mind.
Okay.
Also, it rolled a 19 anyway, so that still would hit.
Damn it. Okay. So Eldritch Blast. 1. Oh, boo.
That misses, unfortunately.
Oh, boo. That's going to miss as well.
That does just hit.
Okay. So 9
That's 9 plus
Plus
4.
plus 1d6
13.
of necrotic damage. If,
Yep, roll.
if it takes necrotic damage.
It does. It does seem, I guess it's 6. That is pretty good. Yeah, it's 19 damage.
It's a bit redeeming.
That is, that is a bit redeeming. You fire off this. The first one sort of smashes against its sort of rocky shoulder sort of plate. You're not quite sure if it's like rock or charcoal or its actual like hide or skin, but it sort of smashes against it. It doesn't seem to do any damage. But then the second one targeted at just the same spot, just manages to break through, and you can see this crack form of this lava, and it does manage to break through and deal quite a bit of damage. You're being racked by this necrotic damage, sort of afterburner as well. Markul's turn. He's going to cast Bless on
Bless.
Oramis,
Big bill on that one, Nick.
Dom, and Chikara, I think. So you can all add a d4 to anything you roll. While Bless is sort of on.
Is that for rolls to hit, attack rolls? Or
Whatever you want.
Anything we choose.
I
believe it's whatever you-
saving throws.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You also move
Yeah, it's not
slightly
ability checks.
over here.
Or
He'll
damage.
also move slightly over here just to sort of have a look at it, but he doesn't have much he can do for his bonus action, so that's probably going to be his turn for the minute. Gylndan also.
Right. I want to hit him with some lightning, but it's a bit dangerous, so I'm not going to do that. 5.
It's a bit congested in here.
A little bit, yeah.
Mm.
So I'm going to go here and just hit him with a level 2 magic missile.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe option. Actually, hang on. So I had a plan to hold him, but has Matt conveyed this information that there's more of them outside? Has he publicly said that?
I would have.
He has conveyed the information that there were more of them outside had they not
They've
run
done
off
that, run now.
because
Okay.
of the
But
loud
didn't
bang
it
that happened
then make a
earlier.
noise? Didn't it then try and communicate back to them?
It's just
When
telling
you
them a
found
bunch of
No,
pussies.
yeah. It was basically just calling them weak because they ran.
Oh, okay, fine. So it's not coming back. Okay, so it is just one.
As far as you're aware, it is just the one that's.
So well done,
here
Luke.
with
That,
you.
the gunfire at the beginning was
That is actually
Somewhat
something.
useful.
I did roll a whiz save for them, but unfortunately they have like -3 to wisdom. So
Thank goodness.
Gonna try and hold creature then?
hold creature. What save is it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Oh. Yes, you cast this. You cast this spell over the flames, and you can feel it sort of attempt to fight back, but its mind is very, very weak, very, very weak, and very, very feeble. And you suddenly just watch as it is just frozen, condemned to your whim, I guess.
But it's paralysed and it can make a save on the end of its every turn.
Indeed.
So yeah.
Yeah. It is paralyzed. It cannot do anything. It sort of just stood, held there, done nothing, restrained, can't move.
Cool.
And very, very sad. Mazzy.
Chikara?
Oh,
no, Shikara got less than me.
yeah, oh yeah,
did
yeah.
she?
Chikara got 4, Mazzy got 5.
I got
Oh,
5.
we're chilling at the bottom, aren't we, Matt?
Oh yeah, wouldn't you, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Right, I'm going to move to back here. And I'm going to whip out something rather fancy, being some frost arrows.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting.
I'll say
Get Hunter's
it
Market
gets-
first.
I'll say it gets about half cover because of Doc and
I moved
Oramis.
that side too, so I didn't have Shikara ahead of me. But I mean, it is how tall is it again?
it is about like 6 to 7 feet tall, and quite
it's
long
not
as a
tall at
hound
all.
is. So obviously, yeah, there is 2 guys in front of you, both of which are 5 to 6 feet. But
I shout, "Everybody duck"?
knowing you, that is still a doable shot.
Yeah, I suppose, but we'll see. Usually, when I do this, the first one's rubbish and the second one's amazing, but we'll see.
You also got bless, so you can add a d4.
Right. Well, is that to the attack roll?
That is to the attack roll.
Okay. Right. Well, let's whip out the frost arrow.
You fire with your bow,
Oh, okay, that
Frost
makes
arrow.
more sense.
and then
I thought that
it's
was-
yeah, that definitely hits.
Shall I use that?
Yeah, we
2d8?
use that. We use that 2d8. So that's 5 damage. But as you have so ineptly figured out, roll it again, as it is somewhat resistant, somewhat vulnerable to frost.
I think
It's
you mean
being-
Is that-
ineptly, not ineptly.
Yeah, that's it. Whatever.
Is that you mean shoot again, or you mean is there something else I can
No, roll the frost arrow's damage again.
roll? Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Oh Jesus, another 5. Wow.
It's not going great.
It's not going great, but it did fail at save.
And then Hunter's Mark.
And then Hunter's Mark. Make sure to say you're Hunter's Marking it before you.
I did.
Oh,
So
Is it,
did
not,
you?
is, it not,
Okay.
is it not just safe at this point to assume Mazzy's Hunter's marks everything?
when there's only one
that is
creature
a-
aiming
that is a
at,
good point.
yes.
Yeah,
So that's
When there's multiple creatures, I'll think about it.
fair enough.
10 damage plus. Oh yeah, plus the. No, it's not plus the longbow damage. Never mind. So that's just
No.
10 frost damage.
Let me just read Frost
to
Damage
it.
again, because I think...
But also it is has its
On a
speed reduced by 10
failure, the
feet.
target takes 2d10 cold damage as the arrow bursts into ice and snow.
Oh yeah, that was a thing before. I edited it on the thing.
okay.
And I wrote a different thing on from that, and it's my bad. I'll change that.
Fine. No worries. Okay, well then that's the first arrow.
Cool. Are you firing another frost arrow, or just sticking with the?
I've only got 2, but let's get them out of the way.
Sounds good. Roll to hit.
Hehe, definitely hits.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
So I'll do 2 frost arrows.
Yep. 2 frost. It'll make
Better.
a con save against it.
And the Hunter's Mark.
And again, it rolls an
10.
11.
Nice.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, those are 2 pretty good damage things. That's 14. That's 40. Cool. Yeah, as you fire these 2 arrows, it also has minus 10 penalty to movement. As you fire these 2 arrows, they sort of explode in this plume of frost and ice that covers over its sort of shoulders and head. And it does, obviously it's now like frozen and paralyzed, so it can't even shake them off. It just sort of is there, its eyes like twitching as it's just got to take the damage. There's nothing it can do. And Jakara.
Right, so can I roll something for Jakara, Ben? Because she's quite a brave elephant, but at the same time she was quite scared anyway, and then this giant hellhound's come out. So I reckon it'd be like 50-50 whether she attacks it in defense or runs away. So can I just roll a d20, and if it's above 10?
Roll. Well, yeah, they've got 0 on wisdom, so yeah, just roll a d20. See how it goes.
So if it's high, will attack, and if it's low, she'll
Yeah, sounds good.
run.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's the easiest way to do it. Well,
No fear whatsoever.
That is that decided.
okie dokie. Right, she's just going to go for a gore then, I think. We love the gore.
17 does just it.
Is this a crit? Because it's
No.
paralysed.
Oh, it might be. Look up.
I've got it up.
Hold on. Yeah, if you've got it up, JJ.
It's a creature is crit if it's within 5 feet.
Yep, that
And
is
attack
indeed a
rolls have
crit.
advantage.
And attack rolls have advantage. So that is indeed a crit.
So 16. And then do you
16.
just roll the damage again?
Yeah, you roll 3d8.
D8. Oh, that's dreadful. Oh, that's why. just roll. That's actually quite good.
Oh,
Then
wow.
that's dreadful. That's pretty bad as well. 10. So 26 damage.
Fucking hell.
E.
That hurt. That really hurt.
Is it dead?
How does Chikara want to maul a freaking hellhound to death?
Oh my god.
Well, I think so. She still thinks it's like heat of the battle, and she's got to be really quick, make her move really fast. Of course, it's paralysed, so she just charges at this thing with everything she's got. And it just doesn't move. So her tusk just goes into it, and I imagine it's probably quite gory.
Yeah, the tusk sort of singes into this huge hellhound, which is, obviously not as big as her, not as tall as her, but definitely as menacing. And she just you just see Chikara just like charge it, and with her horns, almost like it's picked up somewhat on her horns, and she just throws it out of the cave, and it just sort of flies into the air and flops down to the ground. In a somewhat heat moment.
I keep a note of what characters Chikara's killed, and it's quite impressive. No.
I mean, it was like an ogre. It was one of these
Ankheg,
things.
she
It
killed
was an
as well.
Ankheg. Yeah.
Devastator. Yeah, she's killed all sorts.
Yeah. So this thing is
Sheen.
dead. This thing is gone, and it has been thrown essentially out of the cave. And as the sort of combat finishes and everything sort of stays at ease a little bit, you can see Chikara sort of heaving the sort of singes over her trunk and sort of front legs of where this blast has, where this sort of hot blast. Obviously, it wasn't that powerful, but it did deal a little bit of damage and did freak her out a little bit. She does very quickly sort of run back into the cave.
Are there any more? Do they want to see any more?
They've done a runner.
Am I aware that they're all gone? They've all run off.
Considering this is your favorite terrain, roll me a creature that your favorite enemy. Roll a perception check with advantage. Mazzy. Yeah, you're looking. You're sort of looking around. You go to the edge of the cave, and you're thinking, "Yeah, this is probably it. This is probably them done." Especially with what you sort of heard it say, it's others. So you think this one was probably the alpha of the pack, and therefore it's probably safe to say that they're dealt with for now. The alpha has been killed by whatever's in this cave. The others aren't going to come looking. You're probably alright for the minute.
Sweet.
Good.
Sweet. Good job. You killed the thing. You all head back and rest. The rain beginning to start up again in the early hours of the morning, but just as you're all sort of getting ready to get up and get going, it dies down a little bit, so that now it's just very, very sort of spray, a very, very light rain over the area.
We get the benefits of long rest.
You do indeed get the benefits of a long rest, as you found the cave and beat off the thing pretty quickly.
Excellent.
Interesting choice of words again, man.
Oh my god, no, you terrible, terrible, terrible people.
It's like we had a massive beat off inside the cave.
we did. 6 and 16 is not bad.
Not bad.
I've got to be careful with stuff like 6s, because it seems like a good roll, but then if you add modifiers onto it and stuff. Some things have got really high modifiers, so
Yeah, some things have got like a plus 10 modifier, so...
To Mazzy.
Yeah, like that is powerful.
If like Mazzy tried to hit you and you were like, no, you roll a 6, and Mazzy would be like, well, 6 plus
I'm
9 is
I'm
still
still
gonna hit
doing
you.
it.
Yeah.
Still hitting.
Or like Luke's persuasion roll. If he rolls a nat 1, it's like, no, that becomes a 6. Like you think, oh, that's not great. But then you realise, oh no, that's an 18 now. That's insane. So, you wake back up. Markul is a little bit worse for wear this morning. Mazzy, considering you are the only one who failed your survival checks, make me a Constitution saving throw. 14. You're alright. You realise that the dinner you made last night from your rations, make sure you take rations off by the way, wasn't great. It wasn't very good. It was very out of date. And though this morning you feel a little bit groggy and a little bit rough, you'll be alright. It takes you like an hour to sort of get ready compared to everyone else, but when you get on the road and the breeze of the mountains hits you, you do feel, you begin to sort of feel a little better and you sort of snap out of it a little bit. You're on your way down the sort of mountain pass, and eventually, after a good couple of hours, sort of during the midday, you see a sort of road that leads off to the right. Markul looks like this. Well, this is my stop, lads.
Do you not need some supplies?
No, I think we will go to Hawksmoor later this week. It was a... I will consider this supply run a failure. I think I have a few little bits in my... I have a few little bits in my pack. It'll be enough for us for a couple of days before we head off.
You know, get you in and out. Make sure no one hassles you too much.
I mean, are you trying to persuade him to come with you, or are you just suggesting he does?
Yeah, it's more of an offer than, you know, it's like...
Well, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like they're low on supplies and the supply run probably needs doing, and so seeing as he's here, it would be in his best interests to do it.
He's already done a leg of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he had problems before, he's probably still going to have problems again. If he's
Yeah, that's a good point.
So.
Yeah, you're probably just looking. You are kind, dwarf. You live up to the name of Apollo. I will tell you that. All right, I will join you. They won't mind if I'm a little late anyway.
Better late with food than late without it.
Well, exactly. We always make sure we have enough for in case something happens to any of us on the road, obviously. So, you know, we do have enough supplies and food and things for another couple of days. So, I think they'll be all right up there. Won't you? Oh, yeah. They can't hear me. Well, anyway, let's get on going then, shall we?
Has Markul been having a puff on Doc's fight?
Markul is just a bit of an idiot, and you can tell his mind is still, even still now as he's been walking in the day, it is drawn to this sort of idea of, should we go? Like, should we stay here? And it definitely plays on his mind a lot, and you hear him talking about how, you know, with provisions, with the help of some other local Dragonborn who have stayed behind, he could find a way to sort of get a thing going, you know, some protection for the relics and the things they have up there to sort of head up wherever it is that he needs to go, and this is definitely still playing on his mind quite a bit. It is a couple of hours down the road, yet again, now nearing about probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon/evening, before you see a sign along the road. The sign is quite a quaint little green painted sign on a little fence, sort of like little doodles of like chickens and all sorts sort of farmyard animals around the side, and it says Havanis Farm. Mazzy, as you're walking down the road, you begin to see, you see familiar places. You look to your right and you see a large sort of rock, and you remember that was the place where you and Daviak, when you were little, learned to climb. You see the tree that you used to swing from when you were much younger, and the old trail that your father would take you on. And then when you see the sign, you're somewhat filled with, I don't know. I'm assuming filled with some sense of joy, but I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah. Do you recognise this place, Mazzy?
Ah, yes. This is where I grew up.
You got a little grin on your face. You don't grin at anything.
I very rarely show emotion. But when I'm
on
home...
the road to Hawksmoor, we come across Mazzy's house.
Where you grew up?
Where I grew up. Not
Childhood
not really where I'm from, but where I grew up.
Who did you live with here?
I could try and remember the backstory that we gave Ben, because it was a few weeks ago now.
It was a fair few weeks ago now, yeah.
I was orphaned, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Rather young. And
Wasn't I?
Wasn't I?
Oh, I'm telling this so well.
It's full of emotion, Matt.
Yeah, tits dropping.
You grew up in an orphanage.
Not quite. So I was. I've forgotten the start where the guy came from. Can you remember it, Ben?
Yeah. So you were
It's a
orphaned
roadman.
from a very, very young age, and a humble family in the Hawksmoor Mountains took you in. Humans much like yourselves, who had become friends with many of the local clans. You were found out here and taken in. The father was a soldier who would often, whose job basically he was a patrolling soldier.
So he was he a general, or was he high up?
He was a captain.
He was a captain.
He wasn't quite sort of high up, but
and he trained me and Daviak in everything that we know. But unfortunately, he is no longer with us. So I quite regularly come and say what?
I'm sorry you had to lose parents twice.
Oh yeah. It's very sad. I'm a very emotional person. That's why I don't show much emotion, because I try and keep it all inside.
Well, losing two dads would be devastating.
So
that would hurt.
Quite a lot of my money I bring back to the family here at Hawksmoor.
Oh, that's nice. So
to,
you're saying now just
to allow them to still live. Yeah.
Just the mother. She got any? Does anyone else live here with her? Or?
We didn't go into too much detail on that. I think it was.
Yeah. So the last message I sent you, she has other kids who grew up somewhat with you. She has a daughter who took after her father and joined the army, but these were younger than you, so so these kids are younger than you now. So she had a daughter and another son. The son being, as you would tell the guys, he went to the College of Dernstad. He is a scholar on many different things, a lot of which you don't really understand, but whatever.
Every place I've had. Dreadful security system.
Yes. And the daughter, she took after her father, but went on a bit of a wild streak and is now a bit more of a mercenary than a regular soldier, per se.
Sounds like my kind of woman.
No. I'm the older brother here.
Exactly.
You are obviously right by this. You know that it'll only take it's barely any walk to go from this sign down to the farm. You can stop in if you'd like, or you can keep on.
If we're looking for shelter, lads, I feel this is a safe place.
How far away from Hawksmoor?
You can assume that you would get to Hawksmoor tomorrow. So it would be another night of sleeping rough, and then you get to Hawksmoor early tomorrow.
Should we crash with Mazzy's family?
Mama Mazzy, yeah.
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 Were you asleep when Ben said these are humans like you?
Yeah. I was getting other information down.
Do you know how they'd feel on the old me?
That's her saying now. Let the dragonborn in.
Yeah, they'll be absolutely fine with you. They're very welcoming people.
Oh, lovely. Well,
That's lovely, that.
It's not bad, that. Oh, well, should we go then? It's nippy out, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
You're presumptuous. Just invite yourself in.
But let's
I'm not inviting myself in, of course. I'm trying to be polite, but come on, it's bloody
Let's go, Mazzy.
Let's go.
Lead the
I'll
way.
lead the way.
Yeah, so you head down the path a little ways. It's sort of this winding path that takes you a little bit down the mountains to some more greenery. There you can see four quite modest fields. One with some cattle, one with some sort of wheat, barley, rye, that sort of stuff. Another with another little ways away with sort of fruits and veg and things like that. And another with sort of sheep and some smaller animals. There's not many animals on this farm, but Mazzy would know that it's decent enough. And for one woman, essentially, to handle, as well as a couple of sort of farm hands and stuff, it's it pays bills. It's good enough. As you walk down the way, you begin to see a woman sort of walking along the path. She holds a torch, and Mazzy, you recognise the sort of blonde hair put up in quite a high bun immediately. However, she doesn't seem to recognise you. She's sort of shouting, "We are closed. Unfortunately, no inquiries or anything. Oh my!
I'll bring down my hood from the rain that happened ages ago. Like, open arms, it's me.
And she just sprints towards you, gives you a big old hug, and after a big old hug, she just looks at you. Why do you never call?
I've been busy.
One of these mums.
This is the first time I've seen you in ages. Even Davyak wrote me a letter, not last week. Where's the 9 hells of yours been?
I've been busy, and I have not been in places in this world where letters can be easily sent.
Mazzy,
Letters can be sent from anywhere.
Send messages to people quite easily. It's fine. I don't mind.
Honestly, Mazzy, there is demons, and there was a war that your brother was. And now there's like weird. People say there's elves rampaging around the goddamn mountains, and you don't think to maybe give your mother a quick letter. This is.
I'm getting serious Molly Weasley vibes.
Yeah. Can I lean into Doc when she says about the elves and just say, we'll make a note to ask her a bit more about that later.
Well, hello.
Yes, I'm very, very sorry about that, but I'm here now. You see, I've come in person. Davyak has not decided to make his way back.
To impose your whole group on her.
Your brother is a general. I can understand. You and hello.
These are my friends.
Hello.
And I introduce people.
What's your name? Sorry, my lady.
My name is Caitlin. Caitlin Havanis.
Can I give my best bow and just say it's an absolute pleasure?
Roll a performance check.
Oh, here we go.
Slip on a stone.
Performance.
Really want to see that one on this.
Oh no, I've got high hopes. Our performance isn't good.
Oh!
You attempt to bow, but the sort of cobbled path before you trip, and as she's sort of lent out her hand for a handshake. You've tripped. Your body, your face comes in contact with her hand, and you accidentally kiss her hand as you go down on one knee, and then just sort of looking up. Now, very confused. Just,
what are you doing?
I'd like to think I started that out.
Well, very.
He's never
very...
normally like this.
Sorry, forget. It's an old wizard's greeting. Forget it. It's fine.
I see. Well, you boys are quite lucky. It's getting sunset. I was about to put a pot of tea on. Anyone?
Oh yes.
Anyone for some tea?
Could I also greet Mazzy's mother?
Yeah.
No. Can I just go up and give her a big kiss on each cheek and say I've heard absolutely nothing about you?
Mazzy, you don't talk about your own family. He's always been the quiet.
If I go around,
Davyak was always the more outgoing one. You know, the one with the the friends. You know.
Just here's the bus. Here's Mazzy.
if I go around telling everybody about my family and doing all my adventures, I'm just putting you in danger. I didn't know this group was going to be as friendly as they were when we met, so I've just kept it on the low.
On whether we're friendly or not.
Pish posh! Come on, the tea's going to go cold. You walk with her into the very modest farmhouse. It's not the biggest place on earth. It is a little bit of a squeeze to get you all into the chairs and stuff. She does have to bring one of the dining tables over to the sort of near enough the fire to sort of seat you all. But you do sit down. But you do.
That's the problem, trying to get that on the table.
Yeah, as you're sort of coming back, and she sort of yes, come here, and she sort of gestures over a farmhand. Take care of this fine creature. Put him in the barn house. Have the walls removed on two of the parts of the stables. Ensure she is well
the walls
kept.
removed.
On a whim,
No,
she's just bashing out some walls for the elephant.
Yeah, you know, like when you're in a big barn house and there's like those stables and they're they've got this like wooden wall between them.
Yeah, like a divider.
Yeah, that's it. The divider. She just asked for the guy to remove that divider so that has enough room for an elephant. The farmhand is very reluctant. His job is now all of a sudden very much higher than his pay grade.
Tell you what, I'll go give him a hand because I technically would know him and things. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
I'll just give Mazzy a pat on the shoulder and just say, if you got any, she quite likes apples. Give her some apples. She put in quite a shift yesterday.
Oh yes, we do have a bucket of apples just around the back. Freshly picked today actually. That's what I've ruined my back doing. Anyway, yes. If you take care of that, I'll bring the others inside for some tea. Mazzy, roll an animal handling check, but with advantage because you've got this barn hand helping you.
Okay, one sec.
Hope for a natural one.
No, yeah, you're able to sort of bring Chikara in fine. She is definitely quite tired. Gylndan, you recall that throughout the day she has been very, very tired. She didn't sleep very easily after last night's ordeal. But she's happy to find a bed, and Mazzy, as you sort of set her inside, she sort of curls around, gets a little bit comfy, takes an apple, sort of shoves it in her mouth, and then pulls the whole bucket over, curls it around in her big trunk, and just sort of collapses with a big thud onto the sort of barn floor. And she looks very, very much content with her big sort of bucket of apples. And
I'm just going to take one for myself before I give it the
Did you see what she did to that hellhound? I really will.
Before we gave it to Chikara, I took one, and then here you go. And then she took it.
It's fun of me.
She does kind of. You do notice, like, even though she's got this big bucket of apples in her hand, she is looking at the one that you took. But then with like a 20 on my hand, you know, she goes back in fine and does sort of realize, oh yeah, but I got loads of these.
Like
I start petting her.
Where you've got a side profile of Mazzy, and he holds out this bucket of apples, and the trunk comes into frame, takes the bucket, and Mazzy's took the one in his hand, trunk comes back, and takes the other one as well.
You all make it inside, sit down quite cozy by the fire. Some tea is poured out for you, and a modest meal is also brought later on that evening. It is a very basic sort of bowl of stew. There is nothing like the taste of home cooking, and this is definitely very much it. Mazzy, you are particularly sort of happy. You know that your mother is quite the cook. Especially for making quite simple meals, very special, and the soup is divine, almost in its in its flavor. She sits down like, well, your brother should be obsessed. Oh, buried in his books he is. Caleb, come down here. And you see this quite skinny lad. Almost like the opposite of Davyak and Mazzy, sort of comes down the stairs. Very, very skinny, kind of short, sort of very, very short, kempt hair. Your very, very average sort of scholar, little sort of monocle on one eye as well, sort of comes down. Yes, what is it? Oh, Mazzy! Oh my God! It's so good to see you, man. Runs out.
How you doing, bro?
Runs up because you're like, oh, you know me, buried in my books as always. Wait, you, the dwarf? Oh my God, my brother's one of the guardians. Oh my God, the people at the college are going freaking crazy about you guys. People in Hawksmoor love you guys. Oh my God, man. You should see the librarians. They're trying to get like books of you guys made. It's awesome. Well, one of them is. The others are, they prefer the dwarven heroes. But my lord, you got
When he says that the guys in Hawksmoor love us, I'm just going to lean across to Oramis and just whisper, "I don't think they love Doc that much."
Oh man,
Is anyone?
Alright, Davyak said in his letter that, like, you guys helped, and he, him and his team. What did his team like? He said that a lot of the. Is it true one of them's a lion? I mean,
we do indeed.
Like a lion.
We have indeed fought with a lion.
Is he like on all four paws or whatever? Or is it like?
Oh, he stands on 2 feet and he somehow plays a lute and bagpipes with paws. It's quite impressive.
I mean, I have a doctorate in otherworldly travel and unplanar travel, and even I'm surprised by that. I mean, that is insane. What the?
You do meet crazy things on your travels.
Yeah, this land's going crazy.
We also met a fire-obsessed Minotaur.
Oh, we did.
What?
He was a bundle of laughs.
I know that there are like Minotaurs around, and I know they're very weird, but fire-obsessed one. That's
Yeah, it was hard to stop him not blowing everything up.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was a bit of a loose cannon.
My God.
Guy, vulnerable to chaos.
Vulnerable to Oh,
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
I've just realised
I see.
why he's so vulnerable to capes. It's bullfighting.
Oh, no.
How did none of us put that together?
How did none of us?
Oh my God! Is your cape red,
God.
JJ? You say it was, yeah.
It is now, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is incredible. Yeah, so Caleb sits down with you, has a meal.
Every time you attack with it, on delay.
All the damage, there's no physical damage, there's psychic damage from
Caleb sits down with you guys. Your mother is very sort of Catherine is very sort of just content for her son to be home. She's sort of sitting watching you guys talk, and she does a lot of the sort of washing up and things like that. She has beds made for all of you. Some of them so she has Mazzy's room. She has the sort of 2 sofas that are there. Other than that, she just gets a load of sort of blankets and stuff and makes sort of these decently comfortable looking put-me-up beds on the floor. And does, after a little bit of chatting, bid you good night. But she does say, in the morning, I think we should probably have a chat. Where are you and your friends headed? How long were you planning on staying?
We'll only be staying the night, I'm afraid.
Oh,
you know how to break your mother's heart.
I know. I popped in.
He is
too long, and we know we're putting you out a bit with extra mouths to feed and stuff.
I honestly wouldn't mind staying for a while.
Don't worry.
Splitting you out's no problem.
No
it.
worries. No, if you give me a hand on the farm, you can stay as long as you like. Believe me.
That's Oramis.
Yeah, just why don't we we'll chat in the morning. I'm very tired. Don't want to ruin your night. Good night, one and all. She does turn in fairly early, about 8 or 9 o'clock. Caleb is still.
How old is she?
She is like mid-50s.
She's got to get up at
early
like 4
60s.
o'clock in the morning for
That's
the
true,
farm.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So she does turn in fairly early. Caleb is still downstairs if you want to talk to him about anything.
No.
So who do they say is the most powerful of the Guardians?
Oh, I don't really know. I mean, you've all got strength. Like, I know that some of them, like Doc, obviously being a dwarf, like that just makes sense. And being a cleric as well. Although, rumor did go around that you were a cleric of Mars at one point, and everyone was like, no, and that whole caused this whole big thing. A lot of the scholars and stuff do like you, Gylndan. Obviously, being a wizard and everything. Mazzy, you know, you're a human, you're an archer, you're a warrior, you're a soldier, a friend of the dwarves. You're people really like you.
What did you say this guy studied? Because this is such a politician's answer.
You're
all
said
really
he had a doctorate in otherworldly, extraplanar and otherworldly travel, and sort of a doctorate in the other plane, in sort of looking into the other planes.
He's very wishy-washy without ever giving an answer, really.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Nice. Well, Ben, you've acted him out to a T.
He does sort of explain to his new position. He is one of the. He does work now at the library in. Jesus Christ! He works now at the Hawksmoor library. He did.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, Caleb. Where'd you work?
I work now in the Hawksmoor library. I'm one of the key recorders there. Funny story. Obviously, you know, I'm not a dwarf. Why would a human ever, you know, be allowed that job? Well, I am friendly with many of the dwarves. One in particular worked at Durnstad College. He, my mentor, my teacher, top of my class I was, and he put in a recommendation for me. It seems I am able to have some minor sway. His name is Caleb.
No, I'm asking Caleb what the mentor's name was.
Oh, my mentor. Mentor. Kill Professor Kilfrig. Ever heard of a Kilfrig?
Would I have ever heard of a Kilfrig?
No, you wouldn't have heard of Professor Kilfrig. How much time have you spent? How much time do you think Doc spent in Durnstad?
Oh.
There we are. He tells you the Kilfrig sort of. Kilfrig was one of the sort of people that he split his time between the Library of Hawksmoor for like a week, and then like 2 months in Dernstad College, and then went back to the library for a week, and then 2 months in the college. And
because this guy has obviously been around the library in Hawksmoor, whether or not I would have like heard of him while I was studying.
He wasn't like some amazingly big dude in the library. He just used to work there, like not really of most importance. But he did seem to have enough sway to help Caleb get a job, get a job there.
Caleb, do you know anything about a great library in the mountains?
Great library in the mountains? No.
Supposedly a legend.
There's legends of a hidden temple containing a great library.
I wouldn't really know anything about that.
Is there anywhere in the library?
Maybe you could check out the library. I guess. Yeah, that. I guess you could check out the library, but obviously now I didn't really want to bring this up, but I do frequent Hawksmoor, and I'm very much aware of your situation, young dwarf. No judgment here. Obviously, I'm sure. Whatever you did, if any friend of Mazzarious is a friend of mine. But obviously, moral ambiguity taking you into. I will happily be able to take you into the library, but I got this job like 2 months ago. I don't really want to put it at risk right now.
I understand.
Would you?
Sensitive measures?
Solutions
Yeah.
out. One of the things I do is just like raise my hand to my face, and I'm going to use prestidigitation to cast a minor illusion the size of my palm of just like regular skin over the side of my face.
Yes.
Yes, that I guess that could work.
It'll do in a pinch.
Yes, of course. I'm sure that would.
We've got a couple of long lasting. Believe me, it's not ideal, but we've got our reasons for wanting to go to Hawksmoor.
I see.
Caleb, do you know anything about like an underground system, like of caves or anything like that in Hawksmoor?
His face turns almost immediately red. Like, I don't know. Do you know anything about an underground system of caves in Hawksmoor?
I believe I asked the question first.
Yeah,
I just for no reason just twinkle a little bit of Eldritch Blast on my fingers. Just
We're having a chill conversation, and
I might just backstab you in the face.
I'm just
some bloke in a tavern. It's Mazzy's foster brother.
I'm just in the corner. Just
if you're
twinkling
trying to
it.
intimidate him, roll intimidation. With your 18 insight, yeah, you are able to tell that he's hiding something.
Good, because you're not going to intimidate him.
You're holding these things, but he doesn't know what Eldritch Blast is. He just thinks you're having fun with magic. Like he just thinks you're sort of playing.
I'm
with
if he has
fun.
rolled well,
Yeah,
I'm just going to
like,
say this guy's not going to touch you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I like
but you definitely.
the way it's set up. It's like Oramis is like on one side, and Doc and Gylndan are on the other, and he's just talking to us. And Oramis is like, "You fucking what?" And she's not even looking at him.
Yeah. But yeah, Doc, you definitely do get the sense that there is more to this than meets the eye, and there is almost a thing of like, you shouldn't know about this, and maybe nor should he.
Caleb?
Yes.
Yes, I will explain to you how I know it if you tell me what it's about, but I want you to know that it is of the utmost importance and could be incredibly dangerous
We're the
to the fate
Guardians.
of Hawksmoor.
You know you can trust us.
Mazzy,
your
he looks
brother.
over to
You know
you
you
for a
can
bit of
trust
like,
me.
yeah, he looks over to you for a sort of like confirmation nod of like, is this something I want to get into, or not?
Has it?
I was reading something. I didn't even hear what you said. Sorry.
He sort of looks over to you as like a sort of as like a thing of like, is this something I really want to get into? Sort of like kind of look.
My friend Gylndan does speak the truth. This is of the utmost importance.
Oh,
But it's probably best the less questions you ask, the better.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. I don't know much. I know where you can find out more, and I don't think you're gonna like where. I know that a very, very long time ago, some place that we don't really know where it was made contact with the dwarves of Hawksmoor. I know that they were a people, mainly elves, that lived underground in some strange caverns. I know things went well until they very, very, very much didn't. And I know that whatever the hell happened to that portal, that gateway, it was sealed off a very, very, very long time ago. I know this much. I am also very acutely aware that the Hawksmoor Mountains are somewhat plagued by elves of some description going mad. And I like to think, having a doctorate, I'm a smart man and can put two and two together. I would also like it known that I'm not meant to know this information. I'm simply inquisitive.
Is elves in the mountains, have they been hostile?
Very, very much so. It seems history is somewhat repeating itself around here. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. If you want to find more, you're going to have to go into the library, and not the regular part of the library. The
Restricted
very
section.
yeah, the very restricted part of the library. That's about all I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's about all I really know. But things aren't really looking good.
Scary.
I also sort of know that no one has really put two and two together yet. I think because this information was hidden away within this section of the library. I don't know what's in this section of the library or what protects this information either. Like I said, I'm only new, and dwarves are very, very secret about their information. I also know Mazzy. Oh God, Mum didn't want to tell you this till tomorrow. She wanted you to at least have a good night. Trisha was sent out. Trisha, being your sister, was sent out to deal with some of these elves. This was yesterday. She was meant to be back this morning. She hasn't made any contact.
Mazzy, you had a sister? We must rescue her.
Sit down, you fool.
You will not be going anywhere near here without my permission.
She might be the lady to
This is very sad. We will
cuddle him up.
not the
Sorry,
time.
yeah, sorry, yes.
Not the time.
That's dreadful news.
Right. Well, I think
What was the goal of this group of people sent to the elves?
Well, it was to track them down, and
If they're attacking people, surely just deal with them.
yeah, well, sort them out, ask them what they're doing, arrest them, kill them, whatever it was. But I mean, Trisha, once she picks up the battle axe, that's it. All reasons out the window.
I'm sure my party will agree with me in this one, but we will do our best to find her.
Absolutely, we will.
100%.
Do you know which direction and where she was aiming to go to find him?
I know she reported to Fort Hammerstag. It's fort a little while away from here. Doc, you would know about where to get to that, and Mazzy, that was the operating base your dad reported to when he was sort of at home, not out patrolling. That's where she reported to. It was more of a. It was anyone who wants to help can come along there. Yeah. It was. Yeah, Mum's been stressed sort of today, but I'm sure she's. I mean, she can swing a sword better than the rest of them. Better than a lot of them anyway. I'm sure she's okay. But
well, she'll be a lot happier if we can find our sister.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Can I ask what time of the day is it now? Well, it's not something we're going to run off and do.
Right now, it's about 9-10 o'clock in the evening.
Right, so it's not wise going out now.
I think we want a full day if we're going to head into
we want a day of rest, and
yeah,
that's off. We will not first light, but as early as we can, we will go.
Well, so
wow.
That's
rescuing your sister's not first light priority.
I'm sorry. Good rest first, till we
got an important thing.
We can full potential.
It's an important thing, but it's also like it coincides quite nicely that dealing with the elves is also something we need to deal with. So obviously your thing's most important, but that's
this is the reason we're doing it.
Yeah. So it works well on both fronts.
Markle's just sort of sat back. Lovely tea. Oh yes, terrible, absolutely terrible. Yes, of course. Sort of slaps his knee, gets up. My Templar can wait a couple of days. Come on, show some elves what they're made of. You said elves. There's a lot of elves. A lot of different. It's a bit weird, isn't it? How there's so many different types of elves. I mean, there's a lot of Dragonborn, but there's a lot of different dragons. It makes sense. And Caleb just sort of shuts about the dark ones, the dark elves, drow. That's it. Yes, it seems these are the ones causing problems. Like, bloody hate the drow, me. I met a drow once. Stole my money. Well, I say stole. Well, I bought an ale off him. 10 gold the ale cost. That's a steal right there. Tell you what, capital prices going up every year. They are.
Were you in the capital?
No, I wasn't in the capital, actually. He said it was a capital ale, so what was I to do?
I think you've been had, my friend.
I think I was. That's why I say it was stolen.
There's had, and then there's taken to the cleaners.
Well, either way.
Alrighty then.
So, go to sleep and first light we go after?
Before...
First light.
It sounds good. Before we go to bed, can I just have a little chat with Caleb?
Yeah, of course.
I want to. Can I take him off to the side and just say, "Listen, Caleb,
I'll be listening.
I want to talk to you." Yeah, that's fine.
Just not pretending not to listen, but I'm listening.
Listen, Caleb, I want to talk to you about an idea I've had. So, I want to talk to you about an idea I've had, and I'm willing, if you help me set this up, I'm willing to give you 5% of the profit from this. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure I go a long way to funding your studies and whatever you kind of clever people do. So, picture this: Guardians trading runes game. What do you think?
Guardians Trading Runes game. Could be fun. I'm always a fan. I'm always up for a good board game. But I don't think. I did mention that I have a doctorate in extraplanar travel. I'm not.
You're smart.
Thank you. Yes, I'm supposedly smart. I just think maybe you're marketing to the wrong audience here. I can maybe give you tell you someone who might be able to help. There is a general store in Hawksmoor. It makes a lot of sort of toys and games and all sorts.
I will speak to this person.
He writes down the address on a small bit of a quill and paper. Of this. It's a fairly generic. It's a fairly generic general store. It's on quite a street, quite deep into Hawksmoor. He explains that obviously Hawksmoor is a city of two halves. There is the lesser city or the lower city, which is home for anyone and everyone can live there, trade there, be there, whatever. But then the upper half, only dwarves can live or trade there. Like, people can come in and out, but only and this is set within a mountain as well. Only dwarves can live there or trade there or start business there or whatever. And it's within that area that this general store is. Tells you the guy's quite a craftsman. Maybe he can figure something out.
Thanks very much. As a fan of the Guardians, would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's all I need to know.
Okay, cool. Fine. I think I'm.
Time of Slace.
I think I'm going to head up to bed. Good night, all.
Good night.
He
don't you worry about your sister.
And heads to bed. I won't. I trust that you or her, for that matter, will. I think you'll be okay. He heads up the stairs, heads to sleep.
Before we go to bed, can I ask? Because if Mazzy knows this area, or what on earth is his name? Markul as well. Can I just say, where we're going? Do you think that's good territory for an elephant, or do you think I should leave her here?
Well, I mean, roads are pretty good. Don't see why not. Could leave her here. She looked pretty comfy. I know if Hammerstag's a couple of hours down the road. Guess, take her or leave her, I suppose.
We might need to sort of think about the situation that we're going to go into, because if it could end up being maybe a stealthy attack, keep them have at least a bit of a surprise. Maybe
if she's
an elephant isn't.
Saying she's in a cave system, I can't see Chikara getting in a cave.
Yeah, well, that too.
So I don't know if it.
I think to be safe.
It might be
to be safe, probably best.
But
not.
If we are going underground, which we might be, then it might be best to leave her here.
I think maybe best for this one, just leave her out.
Yeah.
Let her rest. Enjoy her apples. She's having a nice time.
Another bucket, please.
Fair enough. So you can all take a rest. You can refill spell slots of that nature. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
Yeah, I want to send a message to Meredith about Markul.
Okay.
Cleric Markul is determined to stay with his brothers near Hawksmoor. Could do with some help. Other friends of his have already joined you.
Yeah, she'll probably say we'll send emissary over soon. Where can we'll send emissary over soon. We'll meet at his temple.
Okay.
Something along those lines. And yeah, you can head to bed, get some rest. You wake up bright the next.
Sorry, are there any small hills within sort of 20-25 minute walk of here?
Yeah. I mean, you're in the mountains, so small, large. There's all sorts of the terrain is very, 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 very bumpy and sort of rocky, as seen by some of the fields and stuff. So.
Wants to spend about like half an hour or something like that trying to get up and get a view. Trying to get a view of Hawksmoor in the distance.
Oh, a view of Hawksmoor, not quite. That's like around a mountain, essentially. That's why it's still like a overnight travel, maybe a couple of hours in the morning to get there. So
spend a bit of time outside, and he sort of like gets up a little bit high, like looking at the terrain. It's a little bit of wants to see it, but also doesn't want to be like is also slightly relieved when he can't see it. That sort of thing.
Has a sing and a dance and a song about where home is where the heart is, and it turns into a Disney ensemble.
I can really see that for some reason. I don't know why.
Another half quantity as he sort of heads back on his pipe.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So you all head to bed. You wake up the next morning. Caleb has notified his mum, who is already sort of at work, and just before you're leaving, here, take these, please. You Matthew, you look so thin nowadays, and she hands you each over essentially one ration.
Muscle.
It is a small sandwich packed for the road.
Oh.
Thanks, Mum.
It's all right.
This lady is far too kind for you not to mention her for almost 1.5 seasons.
What a lass.
I wanted to keep her safe, as I said.
That's fair.
We've been.
Does your family need some financial compensation?
Well,
I have been helping with the financial compensation.
Okay, I'll just don't want to put them in.
But if you're willing to donate,
Eating them out of house and home.
if you're willing to donate for, actually, I'm going to say,
Looked at Gylndan.
I'm going to sort of
I'd
like,
like to give 5 gold for Chikara.
Okay.
So.
I'm going to sort of say, like, I think you should offer something for the stay, for my mother's lovely hospitality, and obviously I will do the same.
Oh, you tight fucker. Invite us round to your
Mazzy,
house.
you are staying at your home. None of you need to pay to stay. This is not a hotel. This is my son coming home with some of his friends. You were Deviak used to do that all the time when you were little. Imagine me asking all of your friends, Deviak's friends, all of your friends when you were little to pay to stay around, stay around. How ridiculous would that be?
Could
It is fine.
Can we at
Put
least
your coin purses away.
or at least want to give you something for the food that we have taken?
It is fine. We are making good yields this year. We're actually doing pretty well. Part of the reason why I'm my body is failing me, unfortunately, but it's fine. Caleb here is helping out at the farm recently, and Caleb sort of looks at you like, yeah. Unfortunately, something that cannot be aided by your cleric hands. Age, unfortunately, the unkind mistress of age. Of age, unfortunately, a lifetime of working farms and mills. I'm afraid.
when Mazzy's back in the game.
Ben, so I'm assuming she's not accepted this gold. I'm just going to leave mine on the table and just say elephants do get quite hungry.
Mazzy,
Yo.
could we perhaps pay for some extra hands on the farm, or maybe some guards for your mother?
That would be a good idea, but they would be. Would they be expensive? Are we talking about this period of time?
We can afford a while, for these guards or hands or whatever.
I think guards may not be needed. I don't think there's going to be that many
Extra hands, definitely though.
hands.
Maybe
hands
we could find
would be
some some poor people in the
Generic
city.
football names. Didier, is he going to come work?
yeah, Didier. That's racist, Sam.
Sorry.
Maybe like three or four guys.
Yeah, I think I can. That sounds like a good plan.
Petter's coming. Stephen.
Wayne. Ashley.
Margot, all of them.
Cool.
Uh,
Your brothers, would they be able to? I know you obviously have your temple, but potentially one, or if you would be able to come down for a period of time, lend a hand, maybe in exchange for some aid with some food if you're having difficulty getting supplies.
My brothers are well, they're clerics, really. They spend their days in very regimen rituals and prayer and practice of the art of combat. Obviously, farming is a noble profession, of course, but I'm not exactly sure they'd have the time.
Well,
I'm
this
afraid.
is still.
But it is a fair ask. And next time we want to buy supplies, we might stop down here for some help you out and help us. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I swear that the scales don't hurt. I meant that in the nicest way. And she's like, it's fine. Yes, that would be lovely.
Those guys are quite something to scratch with.
Well, yes, maybe I don't scratch your back then.
Well, can you just sort of plough the hills with your hands instead then?
Maybe.
No,
I could
use our new friend as a cart horse.
I'm gonna overlook that, and I'll meet you by the gate. He sort of trudges along, flail and shield in hand. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before they depart to Hammerstag Fort?
Just say little goodbyes to Chikara.
Okay, yeah, she gives you a little goodbye. She momentarily doesn't really let go with the trunk. Like she sort of wraps it around your shoulder and really doesn't let go with that +7 of strength until eventually you're like, okay, come on, and then she eventually does let go. And just
you trade it for an apple. And the trunk sort of goes around and gets the apple.
That apple's getting crushed.
And then just sad Chikara noises from there on out.
Say a little prayer over the field for the nice hospitality and things we've received.
Oh, well, that's cute. And with that, you head off towards Hammerstag Fort. The fort is, like I said, only a couple of Hammerstag Fort. It is only a couple of hours walk. You're there by about 10 o'clock in the morning. Now the day has somewhat brightened up a little bit. It was a bit cloudy when you woken up, but now it is much brighter, and the sort of puddles that lay across the road are slowly drying up, although there is still a cold chill that runs through the mountains. You eventually make it to Hammerstag Fort, this large, beautiful fort set into a small canyon, a very small canyon, but it is made for a moderately sized fort. The fort itself has a quite high stone wall, quite thick as well. These walls look like they've taken a beating over the years, but have held against the tide somewhat. And inside there are a few buildings and a large sort of open courtyard. It is a place that is monitored by dwarves, and it seems dwarves alone. This is obviously a fort of Hawksmoor.
Get close. I'm going to utilise one of these disguise masks I've got. What did you say, duration on these?
6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you stick one of those on your face. Now your sort of look as Doc's face now looks much more clean and pristine. There is not the mark on there anymore. Now it is, you can see this almost illusion of his hair sort of coming out where the mark had, and there's some skin. It cleaned up his skin a little bit as well, so it looks rather radiant.
Well, yeah, as soon as I can sort of adopt any appearance I want, I'm gonna get a scar across my forehead or something, like a little one, just like a small nick or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna put another one sort of on the opposite cheek to sort of match the. So I've got this sort of natural appearance, so the perfectly smooth face necessarily like draw any.
You've seen battle, basically.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a warrior that's seen battle, not a warrior that has this pristine, perfect face.
You're
Okay.
just such a good fighter, you just never get hit.
When Caleb was talking to us about the situation, did Mark All take any of this on board?
Yeah, he was definitely listening.
Does he
He
say
was
anything?
more enjoying the hospitality, and also like a lot of this didn't really ring in his ears as much as it probably should have. You can tell he's taking this somewhat lightly. Some of this with a little bit of a pinch of salt. He thinks everything will go back to normal. But he is still interested to help out Mazzy and his family. And is somewhat concerned because obviously these elves running rampant around, maybe at some point they decide to climb a mountain and that mountain could have his brothers on it. But a lot of the stuff about the
Brothers, like, does he mean like brothers, or
no, his holy brothers, his the other priests and clerics that he lives with atop the mountain. Yes, you make it towards the fort. The dwarves stand. There are like 4 dwarves to either side of the gate to go into Hammerstag Fort, and one soldier walks up to greet you. Hello there. What is your business in Fort Hammerstag today? Sorry, one hand on his hammer at his side.
Mazzy. Do you want to tell me
Sorry.
It's your sister.
Yes,
What
so
is
my
your
sister, what's her name?
It's my
Shit.
sister.
Trisha.
She came through here looking for work, really. She was sent out and never returned. Do you know where she might have gone so we can...
You can ask the captain, but unfortunately the information of any military business is military business, and like I said, is restricted to the armies of Hawksmoor. Unfortunately, but you can always ask the captain. He is in somewhat a decent mood today. Yes, I guess we can
Please take me to your captain.
go get him.
We have a really good rapport with previous ranking generals.
as
So-
he's walking over, and sort of like nudge Mazzy and say they were looking for fighter volunteers. Maybe we can pick up the same mission.
Yes, but I want to make sure that we are on the same mission. We're not
Yes.
put somewhere different.
Yes, well, I believe he should just be in here. He'll be out any minute. He gestures towards a low stone building. It is fairly modest, and inside you can hear all sorts of rabble going on. You're not quite sure what the place is until a very strong-looking, but very almost like square, like he is about as wide as he is tall, dwarf barges out of the door, flagon in hand, ale dripping over the side. Fucking
Based on
didn't
this,
want
it's
my
like
gold
captain.
anyway. He sort of staggers over. Captain, yes. Hello, what have you? And he sort of punches the guy as he walks past and moves out of the way. Captain, we have something meant to see you here, sir. He sort of gives us a salute. You're tall. Wow. Dwarf! Oh, shiny, holy thing. Yes, I am. I'm Captain. I'm a captain. I shouldn't be drunk at work. This is Captain Troyston.
Troyston, that's good.
I'm very sorry about him. Sorry about what, you fucking pilly beg bullock? And he just sort of shoves him off. What be needing you?
Captain, can I help you?
What you be needing? Need be you?
Drunkenness in any way?
Pardon?
Would you like me to help you out with the drunkenness in?
The dwarf's not drunk. then
Do it anyway.
yeah. What he said. Why not?
I'm gonna
What you got, cleric?
try and cast lesser restoration on this guy, which can you touch a creature and end one disease or condition affecting it. Condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Lovely.
Alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, so I'd argue alcohol can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I'll take it. You cast lesser restoration. You suddenly sort of. Oh.
Doesn't get rid of the hangover.
Oh. Why? Oh, and he keels over.
Can we just heal him and see if that works?
I think
give me
this
1
one
minute.
might be to the soul, Matt.
Yeah, that was great.
How much? He looks to his side, peers into his coin purse. Bollocks. Well, what can I do you for, lads? I'm sorry.
We heard you were. Are you okay?
Yes.
We heard you were looking for volunteers to help with it was an elf problem?
Yeah.
Elf problem. Yeah, you're a couple of days late on that one, lad. The troop went out a couple of days ago. They'll be back. Gotta give them time.
I've had been reliably informed that they should be back by now, and they are not. Please, may we offer our services to find out where they are and or complete their task for them.
He looks back at you very quizzically. Make a persuasion roll.
I'd like to take up this commission.
I have a -1, but
He sort of looks at you like, I'm sure if we give them enough time, they'll be back.
I really must insist.
You must insist. I must insist that for every person who does it, we have to pay a bloody fee for the completion of the mission. And now it doesn't seem like I've got much money right now.
How's this? We have a personal connection to one of the missing. If we are successful in returning them and their party, then you pay them for a job well done, and we have the satisfaction of finding a missing friend. And if it's not possible to return them, then we'll complete the job, and then you still only have to pay one group of people.
Can I try coming in just to give Doc advantage? But I like to Annual just say Doc, we can't do that. That's an outrageously good deal for him.
Roll persuasion with advantage. I was going to give you advantage anyway because it is a good thing.
Well, that's
What do you?
14. He
Just
looked
want a
at
yes or no answer, so that might do.
and you're not going to take a single dime off me.
Only
Might
if
dig
the other
into
party
the
returns with us.
Fund. Only if the other party returns with you.
If not, as we say, you're only paying.
Pay us if
You only have to. Yeah.
if we are the only ones that return. We're just
Alright, how's about this?
friends.
How's about this? I don't pay you boys a bloody dime, but you can go get your friends back. There we go.
why did we come here?
Because we don't know where they went.
Yeah, we need to get. Yeah, just give us
Alright.
the details.
Come with me. And he walks towards another sort of quite low stone building. Takes you up a set of stairs. Like, this is my office. Give me a minute. It's quite a messy place. He rummages through a lot of papers and finds a ledger. It's like, who's the friend? We had people going to several different places. Unfortunately, several missions were carried out. Seems these buggers are going everywhere. What was her name?
The name was Calhallan.
Calhallan. Oh no. Ah, yes, she went with that that performer. Bloody lovely, that one. Yes, they went to the.
So some
Don't get any ideas on that.
workplace harassment.
No, nothing like that. Well, not if I had it my way. Anyway.
He probably thinks, I'm already drunk at work, I might as well jump in with both feet.
Wow.
They went to the.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
They
Wait a second. You want to go home and rethink your life.
All right, see you lads later. Walks on. They went to the Rocksmith Keep. It was an old watchtower. Elves had been seen around that region. A lot of them as well. Yeah, Rocksmith Keep. Hour from here, maybe. Take the Northern Passage. It's an old place. I warn you, it was shut down a long time ago because of the rot. A horrible disease inflicted Hawksmoor a little while ago, 50, 60 odd years ago, and it was shut ever since. Now, the rot isn't, I believe, contagious anymore, but be careful. Maybe watch yourselves down there. Yeah, she went with an orc, a little halfling, a dwarf, the performer. Yeah. There you go. There's your information. So, good luck, I guess. Unfortunately, our men are a little busy right now, but you seem like a strapping young set of lads. Maybe if you're not back, we might have someone check it out. Maybe we won't.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thank you, Captain Choice. Maybe next time someone doesn't come back after 3 days, you might send someone a bit sooner, and I think we'll leave on that one.
Waves his hand, lets you go.
Don't really think you're suited to be a captain, but we'll let his army sort that out.
Yeah.
Alright, what did it again?
You are
Keep.
Rocksmith Keep or Rocksmith Watchtower. It is an old watchtower used a very, very long time ago. However, he said that the place got the rot. A place that...
Oh, the rot.
Yeah, the rot. Doc, make a history check. Or a medicine check.
I will go with medicine if that's alright.
Yeah. Yes, you remember the rot was an affliction that infected Hawksmoor quite a while ago, and it actually meant the Hawksmoor had to be sort of quarantined somewhat.
Oh God!
It was kind of bad. It was mainly sort of a fungal infection, but it was very, very quickly eased and sort of undone. There were a lot of instances where to get rid of it, they had to just sort of pile up a load of people who had it into a place and leave them there, and hope that if any made it, they'd come out after a while. Yeah, somewhat, because obviously they didn't have enough clerics or enough of this at the time, to heal everyone. Because obviously they can only do it like a certain amount of times a day. There's only a certain amount of spell slots you can use, and there's only so many clerics you can get, and only so many clerics, had the spells prepared and things like that. It was in the grand scheme of Ambyr,
Stay home.
Minor
Protect the clerics. Save lives.
in the grand scheme of Ambyr, it wasn't really that bad, but it was a thing that happened
To worry about.
which is why you might see a lot of old abandoned stuff with a lot of sort of dwarven skeletons and bodies and the things in and around the Hawksmoor Mountains, because a lot of them were used to sort of quarantine people into, I guess. It kind of got a little bit dark for the dwarves around that time. But they're alright now. They're pretty good. And with that, you can head off there. You can head off towards there. And we can pick all of this up in the next session.
Whenever that will be.
Whenever that will be.